Welcome everybody. This is the 7th episode of Failure Stories, and today we have Mrig with us. Mrig is a growth strategist, a content marketer, copywriter, and doing content writing for SaaS, Web3, blockchain, and crypto projects. Mrig has generated $150 million plus ARR for her clients. So let's, Mrig, tell more about yourself to our viewers.
Sure, Tanmay. Thank you so much for having me here. So I am a content strategist and copywriter, and I do everything content. I help basically tech companies get from 0 to 1 million ARR in 12 months or less with my content.
Superb. So, failure stories का episode start करने से पहले, let me tell you what is the mission of the failure stories and what is the core message of the failure stories. So, mission of the failure stories is to inspire young and aspiring entrepreneurs to take calculated risk, because so many people want to do something. They have to start, they want to start startups, they want to start something, their own business or whatever, but they are not taking risk. They are, they have some fear of failure. So हम उन लोगों को इंस्पायर करेंगे. जितने भी हमारे लोग गेस्ट आएंगे वो बताएंगे कि हम लोग इस तरह से स्ट्रगल किया, हमने भी फेलियर फेस किया, बट हम लोग सक्सेसफुल हुए. एंड दैट्स व्हाई वी हैव स्टार्टेड दिस फेलियर स्टोरीज टू इंस्पायर यंग एंड aspiring entrepreneurs to take calculated risk. और core message है failure stories का, that do not repeat your mistakes. So this is the core message, because when we try to not repeat our mistake, we grow fast. I also try and practice on daily basis that I do not repeat my mistakes. So this is the message and core message and mission of the failure story. So let's get started with our framework. Okay. So
awesome,
yeah.
Tanmay. I'm so glad that you mentioned that you need to learn from your mistakes rather than saying that maybe because like failure is a necessary part of the process, right? And the earlier you can fail and the earlier you can learn from it, the easier it's going to be.
Exactly. And it's all about practice. We have to practice that, not to repeat the mistake. It's not subconsciously we make मैं भी दिन में बहुत सारी mistake करता हूँ, but 2 times 3 times, but it's all about practice and अवेयरनेस होनी चाहिए कि रिपीट नहीं करनी है. तो बस यही है, तो हम लोग ग्रो फास्ट होंगे.
Absolutely, creating that feedback loop of what is happening and how do you learn from that.
Exactly, analyzing. और क्या होता था जब मैंने स्टार्टिंग में फेलियर स्टोरी स्टार्ट किया था, फर्स्ट 2-3 एपिसोड्स, मेरी मिस्टेक ये होती थी, मैं इंट्रोडक्शन में कुछ मिस्टेक करता था. इंट्रोडक्शन में हैवी नहीं कर पाता था, मैं इंट्रोडक्शन में गड़बड़ कर देता था. But nowadays I'm practicing that I introduce our guest properly, and that's what I'm practicing nowadays. तो last time introduction प्रोमा का भी सही हुआ था, आज भी हो गया सही. रोहित के टाइम मेरी गड़बड़ हो गई थी.
Yeah, I mean, you like people say that you need to go online and hustle and do all of these things. You don't often realize that there's so much of self growth that happens when you're doing that yourself, right? More than whatever you're going to get out of it. Exactly. So
yeah, so let's get started with our framework. Mrig, just tell our audience who you are today, what you are doing.
Sure, and that's a great question. So I am an agency owner at the moment. I lead a company called Funnelden. I am the director of growth. And I use a proprietary growth framework called customer-led growth approach, which I use for my clients to nail their offer and create a strategy that can help them scale their companies using content.
Oh, superb. So मैंने तुम्हारा आपका LinkedIn का बायो पढ़ा था, स्टोरी पढ़ी थी, that you were you won that challenge of writing and reading and by Times Group. So tell our audience more about that. What was that?
Sure. So I wanted to be a UPSC person. I wanted to do civil services. Yeah. I was good with my linguistic skills when I was in school itself. So I studied in a convent and grew up with the Sisters of Chavanot. So I was very good with my linguistic skills. But my mom is like a government employee, and she had this aspiration for me that I should grow up and become a civil servant. Yeah, I was exceptionally good with studies also. So I came to the Delhi University and started working towards that goal. But after 1 or 2 years of grind, I realized that so there was this one incident that happened so I had my rank was the first in the test series that we gave in the coaching institute. And one of the guys said, "Oh, you're awesome. Tell me more about how did you learn and go through the process, or how do you study and things like that." And somewhere in the conversation, he said, "Oh, okay, so tell me, oh, your family is from this background, so you want to become like your parents." And that was the moment everything like struck me that, hey, I want anything in life, but I wanted to be like my parents. I never wanted to be like them. I did not want the lifestyle that they had, and that's when I started realizing, hey, even if I clear the exam, a 9 to 5 is not something that maybe I'll be happy with. So I went back to the drawing board. I was still in college, so I had about 1.5 2 years still left with me. So what I did was I started experimenting with my writing skills. And even then, I did not know anything about freelancing. My idea of being a good writer was just, writing a book and getting it published. The way, I had like, yeah, with books of Stephen King's or everything that I had read when I was still in school. But I was so adamant on, making myself financially independent and trying to like do something out of it, and like so obsessed with the idea that, hey, if this is not what I want to do, maybe I'll have to like figure out something for myself as quickly as possible, so that, I can convince my parents that, hey, I'll be okay not doing this civil service thing. So I started like writing. I finished the first script that I had, but soon realized that, that publishing is not that easy. So I got rejected a couple of times and realized that, if I had to like get out the book, I had to like market it on my own. So what I did was I enrolled in a digital marketing course instead of, pursuing my master's or something like that. Studied digital marketing for a 1.5 years and realized that, hey, writing a book is not the only way you can express your linguistic skills, or you can use your linguistic skills. So, it opened up this whole new world of branding and content writing to me. And I realized that these stories can also be like part of brands, and all of those emotions and everything that we talk about and creating conflicts can also be used in brand stories. So I started working with a digital marketing agency, did a lot of social media writing for them, worked for brands like Shriram Jewelers and a lot of other popular brands in India. And then I got myself a senior in college, got me a job in in his company doing digital marketing. So this was a job in California, and I was doing this part-time, again, I hit a point where I felt like, again, I needed to grow. So I again started looking for a new job, and I knew that if I want to like make a switch after that digital marketing agency job and after this California job that I had, I really had to look for a place where I could grow, and there was a lot to learn. So every morning I used to just get up and fill out a job form. Thanks to my SEO skill, I got my profile ranked in this platform called Shine Recruiters. Somebody picked up my profile. It was like the peak of the pandemic. Somebody picked up my profile, and everybody had been fired from the Russian embassy in New Delhi. So the recruiter had picked up my profile and had sent to the chairman of the Russian embassy, and he called me for an interview, and luckily I got through. And yeah, that's when like thing really started to move in my life. Yeah, I started to like manage other freelancers under me. I started to like experiment more with my writing, get feedback on everything that I was doing. And then the pandemic hit, everything was shut down. And along with my full-time job, what I did was I picked up also a part-time job with a content marketing agency in London, sitting at home, thanks to COVID. And along with my full-time job, I also experimented a lot with SaaS. So I worked with some very cool brands, billion-dollar companies now, and really got to see what the revolution that tech can bring. Slowly, I started also picking up freelancing at the side from my job. And there was a point where my freelancing income was kind of like stable, and I felt like this is something that you can do out of it. But I was fired from the London from the content marketing agency where I was working part-time. And that is the moment I said, oh, hey, it's time to take a call. If I won't jump full time into doing starting a business of my own at this point, it's never going to happen. So I resigned from my full-time job at the embassy also and plunged full time into freelancing. The initial few months were really good. I don't know how, but then I hit a plateau. and all my networks dried up. I had no clients. I had to like really learn things from the scratch. It took a couple of months before I could really see where this was going. And then I think everything was kind of like, I mean, I had got used to the process of like approaching clients, being okay with, not having work and things like that. And from there, here we are doing it, I would say, pretty well with where we are at the moment.
Super. That's inspiring. You got fired and then you started your own business, and that's what our entrepreneurs friends want to listen. That's inspiring. Okay, let's talk about your family support. How was your family support when you were going through all this process?
So I don't know if this might not be a popular answer, but there was none. I mean, they were very supportive. They never like really got in the way of what I was trying to achieve. But I never really. A lot of people come to me and ask, "Hey, how do I convince my parents that I want to do this freelancing thing and not go into like these traditional routes of maybe doing engineering or doctors or maybe civil services or whatever it is?" I mean, you like. It's not going to happen. I mean, at the end of the day, if you're confident, if you're like making money like hell, I mean, your parents won't object to that, right? So it's more about the process of getting confidence in yourself that, hey, I at least need to give myself that chance. I need to give this a shot and give myself that chance to like try this out with all the efforts, with everything that I have.
Right. Asking for the permission that, okay, give me 1 year. I will show you that what I can do. And once, they start seeing results, then they will, not oppose you. That's what I am doing right now.
Yes, absolutely. And again, I think once you are yourself like fully you have to convince your parents when you yourself are not fully sure of what you're doing, right? Because then I feel like when you're confident about what you're doing, when you have a plan, everything like pretty much falls into place.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Okay, superb. So let's give our audience a little teaser that what was the struggle and how you overcame that struggle, just in 2-3 minutes, and then we'll deep dive.
So what was the biggest struggle in the journey, right? That was your question. So the biggest struggle in the journey, like I mentioned, was believing in myself that I could do this. Especially, not just when it was easy, but also when times were really tough. When I did not have any clients, it was the peak of the pandemic. I was making 20% of what I was making at the Russian embassy.
That's hard, huh?
Yeah, so just like getting that confidence that, hey, just reminding myself as to why I started this, where we are going with this every single day, and believing in myself was the most difficult part of the journey.
Right. That's starting phase. You were earning so much and now you're not earning that much. That imposter syndrome that, oh, I can do this, I can do. ये बहुत लोगों के साथ होता है. Starting में बहुत लोगों के साथ होता ही है जब अपना खुद का बिजनेस है, अपना स्टार्टअप की am I doing this right, ये हो पाएगा नहीं हो पाएगा, मेरे लिए और अपॉर्चुनिटीज है, जॉब की अपॉर्चुनिटीज है, मेरे साथ होता था खुद के साथ. I'm loving this.
Yeah. Absolutely. And I think, there's no other entrepreneur in my family. So I had to like really like learn things from scratch. But yes, to like support your point, definitely, you have to like believe in yourself. And, again, like I mentioned, keep reminding yourself as to why you started this and where you're going with it. I mean, like when you're all on yourself, I mean, it's very easy to like get off track. Right. So like holding yourself accountable. I mean, self-talk is super critical.
Super. So let's deep dive. Okay, let's get back, from the beginning, that how you started your journey from scratch.
Yeah. So after I had taken this diploma, this 1-year course in digital marketing, I started getting like a lot of opportunities. But things were not very well in my family. My mom was a single parent, and she was suffering from paranoid schizophrenia, and she had resigned from her job. So like there was a lot of pressure on me to like find something and figure out where I'm going with what I'm doing at the moment. So how I navigated through that is, again, I was not very patient at the moment. And even if an older version of Magnani comes and says to the younger version of Magnani, hey, this is going to be okay, I don't think I would really listen, because I was so much in that position that, I really could not understand what was happening, and or even take any of the advice that was around. So how I navigated through that is like really like I did not know even if I navigated through it. I sort of like took one day at a time and was just, okay, the day is over. Okay, the next day, this is over. So I did a lot of part-time jobs at the start when I was still in the digital marketing agency. So I worked not just like with this one digital marketing agency, I picked up a lot of design projects as well. So the digital marketing course was a full-fledged course of not just like teaching you content marketing. It was also about paid media. It was also about learning basics of coding. It was also about, learning how to work with Adobe. So I did a lot of design projects, and oh my God, it feels so surreal to think that, I was at that point in life also. I used to like do one full end-to-end website design for 2,000 rupees. That was where I was.
Wow.
So that's where I started. But yeah, slowly things started picking. I was very focused on getting myself the skill set, which is the thing that really allowed me push forward. So even at the Russian embassy, I was not focused about, hey, what's the salary that these guys are going to pay me. I was more focused on getting myself the skill set, because I knew that once I knew how to figure out things, then things will get easier. So and even in the process of like filling out those applications, after I've had all these small part-time jobs, and even with my job in California, so yeah, so just like taking a strong stand that, hey, whatever job I'm going to pick next is going to be like super challenging, and I'm going to wait till that job comes to me. And for 2 straight months, I mean, I did not land any job. Every morning I used to just get up really miserable and just like keep filling out forms after forms and like seeking out a good opportunity for me.
So much struggle. बाप रे, बहुत सही. यही चाहिए. That's what going to people. Yeah, that's what going to inspire all the entire entrepreneurs and me as well. I'm also, sometimes hota hai struggle, ups and down. But we have to remember. मैं अपने खुद के episode देखूंगा inspire होने के लिए. And this was, really, you started from 2000. Same happened with me when I designed my first website with my friend for my first client. It was for 2,000 rupees.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know a lot of folks who even work for free. I mean, at the start,
right.
Yeah, and I also see a lot of youngsters coming up and saying that, hey, we are straight out of college, we want to like get this writing opportunity that's going to pay us 30,000 straight. Like that's not the way it works. If you have the skill set, hey, more awesome, go ahead and go chase those numbers. But if not, you really like focus on, first of all, building that skill set up, and no harm in just going out, taking up an internship with somebody you admire and learning the process for a while before you go behind chasing all these numbers. Yeah.
Super message. Okay, so next part of failure story is that you have to tell how you failed in your journey.
I think the thing that I just mentioned was all about failure. So I like it was not so much about failing. I guess it was more about how like I never ran away from failing. I sort of like embraced it. Okay, come whatever may, I have to like just like cut my way through it and find space for myself, because really I did not have any other option. So yeah, that was it.
Okay, that's all about what we were talking about. Okay, next part here. Okay, that's interesting. Why do you think you failed? Whatever that struggle happened, why that happened?
Honestly, because a couple of reasons. One, because I felt at the start of the journey, I was not super confident about myself. And I think that happens over like when you get more experiences. So I was not very confident about myself. The second is, I did not like really believe or trust myself to achieve this thing, to be very honest. So that was there. I also cut off from a lot of good friends and family members that I had, because I felt, and this, I don't know, I think this happens with a lot of people. So I felt that, whenever I used to talk to those friends and family members, they sort of, it almost felt like they wanted me to succeed, or they knew that I'm going to succeed. And here I was like failing miserably.
Oh.
So like sort of, it almost felt like, talking to them would make myself feel more miserable. And what I did was I stopped talking to all of them, which is not something that anybody should do. So that was there. So I guess a lot of wrong beliefs in place. That was one thing. The second is like not believing in myself, like I just mentioned. And the third is, again, because I did not, nobody in my family was an entrepreneur, so I really did not know where to go. So again, it took a while to like figure out who to follow in the online world, and how to learn the process, and also like being okay and not able to figure out, and then just being okay with that chaos, and then finding a way over a period of time, and knowing that, hey, this is not going to get fixed tomorrow, it's going to take a while, but just trust in yourself that you'll get through it.
Super. All starts with yourself, all starting with yourself. Super.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so let's get to the next part. The next part is that what was the biggest challenge you faced?
Okay. Again, I think believing in myself was the biggest challenge. It starts and ends with you. I believe, when you are in the right frame of mind, when internally where you're going, where you are all okay with all the thoughts inside of you, that is when things start working out. And I love this quote from Shakespeare, which says, to thy own self be true. So that is huge for me. So again, self-talk, questioning yourself, with everything that you're doing. Hey, am I on the right track? Is this what I want out of my life? These might seem big questions, but very often we do not even pause or take a moment to reflect on. People are like, hey, this is the goal that I want to achieve, but they never really question as to why they want to go there. So like really sitting back, reflecting on those questions made me realize a lot of things, and be okay with wherever I was in life, and also with the struggles that I was going through, because I know that the alternative is not something that I wanted for me. Right?
Right. Super. Self-talk helped you to overcome all the obstacles, because क्या होता है बहुत time surrounding हमारे friends या फिर relatives or whatever other people, they were talking about he is doing something, and we have that self-doubt कि अरे इन लोगों को हमसे कुछ मतलब what that word, I'm not getting that word, अपेक्षा, if you know that pure Hindi word, हम लोगों से बहुत ज़्यादा right, so expectations है, and we are not doing that. It's 6 months, 8 months, 10 months happened, and we are still there, and there is so much pressure, but we have to self-talk that okay, whatever I'm doing, it's good, and I have to trust the process. I have to give the patience is very important. अगर कुछ मेरा goal attain करना है, तो I should not focus on what other people are thinking and what other people's expectations are. I have to focus on only my goal, my way, my direction is right. Okay, self-talk, and that's what is going to help you to overcome that. Okay, whatever is doing, I'm doing, that's whatever, that is good. That I have to focus on only one thing, one direction, not other things. ये मेरे साथ होता था. मैं बहुत ज्यादा स्ट्रगल, मैंने भी स्टार्टिंग में बहुत ज्यादा स्ट्रगल किया है. बहुत सारे लोग, इसकी जॉब लग गई, उसकी जॉब लग गई, तुम क्या कर रहे हो? हाँ, तो ये बहुत स्टार्टिंग में होता है, बट वी हैव टू फोकस कि आई एम ऑन द राइट ट्रैक, and I will be successful in few days, few months, not few days. So
absolutely, Tanmay. Love the thing you said about focus also. I mean, yeah, there are so many distractions, especially if you're trying to do something that other people around you are not doing. It becomes like tough. Yeah. So definitely self-talk helps, write things down, help yourself clarify the things that you have, or the things that you're thinking about. Like, I mean, just write down the things that you're reflecting on. That will give you an analysis of, what is happening. Okay, I'm that you're getting influenced by all these things. Okay, but what do I want for myself in the longer run?
Super. Okay, so let's get to the next part है, हम लोगों की जिंदगी में कोई ना कोई होता है जिसने हमें हेल्प की होती है, whether it's a family member or friend. So who helped you in your journey?
Honestly, like saying like one or two names would be unfair, Tanmay. I think everyone, so there were moments in my life where I really was at the rock bottom. Like I really did not know what is next for me. Like not just in terms of where I was going in my career, but also a lot of personal crisis, identity crisis, I would say. So in those moments, I just mentioned that I grew up in a convent, and we were like a very small group of students with the teachers and everyone, and I grew up around the Sisters of Chavanel. So all the teachers there used to like encourage me a lot that, hey, you got this. I was really good at studies. I was good with sports. I was good with a lot of things. But more than that, the teachers supported me a lot in everything that I do. So every one of those teachers who said something nice to me, or who just like even passed me a smile, that stayed with me for a very long time. That and kept reminding me that, hey, I'm special. Even if I'm not, like I can figure out things for myself. So like big, like those, like they were big motivators in the process, just reflecting back, cherishing those moments when I was like really at the rock bottom. That was huge. In college also, I still have like some very phenomenal friends, and I'm incredibly grateful for all their support. I remember there was this one senior in college. I told him that, hey, my mom is not well, and he said, people take drugs and smokes to get away with their problems, and you use work as a substitute. And he really sort of said, hey, let's book a flight for you back home. You should go out and spend time with your mom. And I remember at 5 a.m, dropped me to the airport. So I mean, small gestures like these from everyone who's been there in my life. I mean, it would be unfair to just name a few, but everyone who's been in my life, supported me in whatever I was doing. I'm grateful to all of them.
Super. Our friends, our family members, they always support us in small parts, whatever way they can support us, they just support us. That's important.
Absolutely. And sometimes I think it's not just about like supporting me, but like doing what they are doing for themselves and inspiring me in turn. So I knew like despite my mom like going through all of this, she got back up, she got back her job, she recovered from the mental illness that she was in. So just that inspired me that, hey, my mom is putting in so much efforts, she's done so much for us. I need to figure out things for myself, right? So yeah, that's huge.
Super. And as you said, that inspired you, the next question is that what inspired you to bounce back? So we want to hear more about that.
What inspired me to bounce back? Honestly, it's I think people don't often reflect on more than good things in my life. I think bad ones have motivated me to move forward. So every day asking myself the question, hey, do I want to end up being as everybody else in my life, or do I want something else from where I'm going? So yeah, that was something that kept inspiring me to move forward every day, to get up and go through the grind, even when I could not see where I was going anywhere 6 months, even 7 months down the line.
Okay. Yesterday I was talking with one of our Twitter friend, Raghuveer, if you know Raghuveer. Then he was also saying that the bad things that was inspiring him. Critics, all the critics, you have to keep them near. Why? Because they will inspire you to do things more than whatever you are doing. Put efforts more, because there are some critics, there are some bad things happening, and that will inspire you, subconsciously, unconsciously, whatever word you want to say, that will inspire you. So same happened with you as well.
absolutely Tanmay. And also कई बार हर चीज लाइफ में ठीक चल रही होती है, फिर भी you need to like find gaps or spaces. वो बोलते हैं ना, भूख अंदर रखनी होती है आगे बढ़ने
के लिए. Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you have that hunger, you will definitely find the way.
Yes, totally. Napoleon Hill. Okay, didn't know who said that.
If you have that hunger, then you will definitely find the way, because you want to do that.
Totally.
So let's get to the next part. The next part is summary part. Okay, the summary, you have to give 3 main reasons that why you failed and 3 takeaways from this whole episode. So what are those 3 main reasons that you think that you made that the reason behind your failure?
Sure. So what I can do is I can draw parallels. I can tell you the reasons and then, takeaways from all those.
Yes. Super.
One thing that I focus a lot on is, spending time with yourself, self-awareness, knowing who you are. That is big one for me. So not having confidence in who I was and lacking the self-awareness of what I was capable of was the first biggest reason, I could not succeed. The second one was not having the culture and the environment around me for entrepreneurship. And yes, so that was there. The third is, for thinking that, if I could just figure out business, then this is going to be it. I think people very often, like, you have to have some sort of like stability in your personal life as well to be good in business. So focusing on holistic well-being is something that I felt that I could have done earlier. So the 3, again, takeaways from all the 3 failures that I had. The first one I said was, having more self-awareness. So really questioning yourself with everything that you're doing, where you're going in life, and self-talk. That was huge. The second was environment. Surrounding yourself with the right people. I did not have any entrepreneur in my family. So like really find out your tribe. Even if you're not around those people in your friends and family members, find out that tribe and hang out with them. Today with technology, I mean, you can have access to anyone in the world that you want, right? So go ahead, find out your tribe. That's very important. They will encourage you, push you to keep moving forward, and also give you a direction of where you're going if you find yourself lost and amidst chaos. So that's it. The third was not focusing on well-being. So again, don't just spend time on working in the business. Focus on how you can get more stability in your personal life, and also feed your soul every day with something that is meaningful. That's there.
Super. And you said that second point that we have to surround yourself with like-minded people. That's very important if you want fast growth, if you want success, because if you don't have that environment, you will not get motivated as well. Because when we see other people doing more, then we subconsciously tell us that, okay, he's doing this, then I should also do this. So that's why environment is very important. And as you said that you didn't have that environment, so it was a challenge for you as well. But I'm also trying to change the city, because I'm not getting that environment. Though I'm I spend my all day in my office, but घर पे क्या होता है, एनवायरमेंट चेंज होता है, घर पे फैमिली फ्रेंड्स, तो वो टाइम पास की चीजें होती है, थोड़ी सी वो कट करनी है. एंड हैव टू आई एम थिंकिंग ऑफ शिफ्टिंग टू Mumbai, Pune, Bangalore, where I can only focus on my business, on my growth, and that's what environment I'm looking for. So let's see what happens in next 6 to 8 months. And yes, environment matters.
That's awesome, Tanmay. And it's so nice that you're thinking of all these things. Totally agree with the thing that you said yet, that you need to like surround yourself and feed yourself with people who want to grow ahead. And your thing that you're doing here with the failure stories is a perfect example of that. If you just listen to all the experiences that different people have, you'll realize that, hey, there are people around you who have probably gone through a worse thing than you are going through right now, and that will sort of also help you, inspire you to keep striving and moving ahead. Yeah,
right. And this all podcasting thing, or my audio podcast, or whatever new things I'm starting, I'm inspiring from other entrepreneurs. And that's why I have surrounded them, on Twitter, on every single social media platform, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn, everywhere I have surrounded with that quality people that, I'm looking at them and they are doing more, and that's why I'm doing more. That's the secret.
Yeah, that's awesome to know.
Yeah, so let's get to the next part. It's quick question.
Okay.
Let's do this. Okay, the first one is, what will you choose, B2B clients or B2C clients?
This is a tough one. I would choose B2B because I have more experience B2B, but I think B2C companies do fundamental marketing so much better than any B2B company.
Okay, that's okay.
Yeah. So talking to customers, figuring out what inspires them, those are the things that you often don't get to do in a B2B company because the sales cycle is often 2 months, 3 months long. So, I think B2B companies don't do fundamental marketing as well as B2C companies because, everything that you're doing has to be directly correlated to revenue. So, so that's there. So I would choose B2B because I have more experience, but given a chance, I would love to experiment more with B2C.
Awesome. Super. Just a second. Sound. Okay. Second question is, okay, late night work or early morning work?
I think, like you, I do late night work, night out, total night out.
Same here, same here. I'm also, darkness is my power. I tweeted today. I love darkness. That's why my superpower is darkness. I also love to work in, जब अंधेरा होता है तब पता नहीं क्या होता है. I just feel, superpower. Okay.
I think, people emphasize too much on getting up early. Here, I get up at 5, I get up at 4, I get up at 1, whatever it is. But yeah, I mean, like figure out when you find yourself more productive. If you get up at 5 and you don't really have an idea of, how you want to go about the day, then that's not, I mean, you can't do much out of getting up at 5, right? So figure out how you can be more productive in whatever time you are getting up at, or, figure out what works best for you.
Exactly. Great. So third one is that, okay, writing for brands or writing for person, what will you choose?
Writing for brands.
Yes, as you said that.
That's more challenging.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. The fourth one is for creating content, what will you choose? Blogs or videos? As you're creating YouTube videos nowadays, that's why I included this question.
Videos any day, all day.
Super.
Yeah, social media is the new thing. Yeah, with blogs, the thing is, just to very briefly touch on it, very like companies these days are still focusing on SEO blogs. I mean, those have a place, but right now, like everybody around is not looking to go and search on Google to find out a software. They're usually looking for peers, they're looking for social media and things like that. So yeah, you really have to go social. You can't just be reliant on SEO blogs. So videos over blogs any day, all day.
Yeah, same here. I also love making videos. I also have a YouTube channel. I have created, 120 videos with only 120 subscribers, but that's not, the number is not my game. I just want to put content. I love creating videos, so that's why I've started the show as well. It's a video content.
Oh,
we can speak, I will send you the link. And yes, we can speak our heart out when we are talking in videos. That's I love, बस बात करते जाओ जो भी है. And that's why same with the podcast as well. Whatever thoughts I have, I just convert it into podcast. And that's why I have started my audio podcast as well.
Oh, awesome. I did not know that you put out 120 videos already. I mean, man, that's inspiring.
Yes, I have a YouTube channel. Okay.
No, you do have a YouTube channel. I just did not know that you're already 120 videos in.
Yes, 120 videos with only 120 subscribers. That's not the matter. Okay, no worries. Let's get to the seventh one. Okay, this is interesting. Marketing before branding or branding before marketing?
Whoa. Branding before marketing, of course.
Right. I would also go with the same.
Yeah.
Because we should, spread that awareness that we exist, and that's after that, then we are going to market ourselves. That's the
absolutely. And getting clear on what you offer is the first step. You don't just go out and market to everybody, right? So that is a part of branding. Yeah.
Okay, super. The last one is, okay, what would you choose? Having a startup or coaching business?
Coaching business, man. I'm like, I know I do have a startup myself, but I'm just so tired of hustling and grinding. I want to kind of slow down a bit. I think I have the experience also now to run a coaching business, and that's where we are also headed. Other than the agency, I'm focusing more on how we can create this edtech platform that can help founders understand the entire process of marketing.
Okay, super. Okay, so let's end this episode with a quote from you, and then I will end this episode with a quote, a failure quote. So what is your favorite quote?
Sure. I don't know, like this is a little deep and this is a little tough to understand, but if you reflect on it for a long period of time, you'll know what this is. So I don't know even who said this, but most people will fail in life not because they thought of something big and could not achieve it, but most people fail in life because they thought of something too small and managed to achieve that.
Oh, right. APJ Abdul Kalam said that having a small goal is a crime. Always think that.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. That's very close to the thing that I just said. But yeah,
Always.
definitely. Yes. Yeah.
Superb. So let's end this episode with a failure quote. Failing down is not a failure. Failure comes when you stay where you have fallen. That's the quote of the episode. Okay. So
Wow.
yeah, people just don't give up. Dream big and you will achieve your dreams. We have so much inspiring people and more people will come to inspire you. Thank you for watching.